moving into the wins and biggest challenges, which is the second segment of what we do. And wins and biggest challenges helps us kind of gear what we're doing in practicality, making sure that what we're doing makes a difference in people's lives. Mark had mentioned the coffee connections. If you're not involved, you can get involved virtually with the information that Mark had already given us. But there's also coffee connections pretty much everywhere in the United States, and I know that there are starting up globally. So you could participate in that. And the benefit is you have a local group of people. What should you do? You should make a success circle of 12. And one of the things I found is by creating a success circle of 12, what is that? 12 people in your immediate area geographically that think outside of the box. Think outside of the box. And then what you want to do is that you want to invite them not only to the Coffee Connections, but to something which is called a 30 minutes strategy session. And it's free, absolutely free. You find out your personality. You find out how you like to be communicated with, how you can help other people communicate, your biggest challenge. There's so much, and it happens in 30 minutes that can actually change the trajectory of your business. Most businesses don't find that out until maybe 2, 5, 10, or 15 years later, and by that time, we know that in the first couple of years, most businesses fail. Why would you want to fail when you have an opportunity for success? So being part of a Coffee Connections is going to absolutely do that, and then it's going to help you to do what? It's going to help you to drive to be part of our mastermind seminar here in November. And I know we're skipping a month, but I'll tell you, next month in October is going to be great. Right here, same place, same channel. But in November, it's going to be in Cincinnati, where they're going to be starting with the value of installing systems. You don't want to miss that. Why? Because it's going to change everything. If you're an architect, you need to be there. Why would I fly to Cincinnati if I'm not there, or maybe I'm going to not get business? Let me tell you something. If you knew that your business could change in a heartbeat, like I found that mine can too, with not only the mastermind seminars, but also the Coffee Connections, why would you not be there? Because that event is going to change everything for you. November 17th in Cincinnati, Ohio. Use your Twitter account, MM_seminars. Ask the question, how do I get involved? We'll get you the information. We'll get you the information. Mark, are there any other wins or biggest challenges maybe you have or that you see that everyone here can benefit in terms of leadership?
It's interesting, Kevin, on how in the book Good to Great, it talks about the flywheel. And it's like I don't know. I mean, I've owned my own company for 26 years, and there were months, years, sometimes even decades where it's like, am I making any progress? Like, am I moving forward? In The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, there's certain things that create tipping points. And if we're aware of those things, like a mastermind, being a sponsor of a local mastermind seminar, or leading up a Coffee Connection, those can be catalysts. Those can be tipping points, especially a mastermind seminar. You do it, once a quarter. You start off the value of installing systems. Get on local TV, no cost. It's part of community partnerships, community and businesses working together. So I think, Kevin, there's that. There's also in the Good to Great, it's genius surrounded by 1,000 other people. And so do each one of us, Kevin, really understand the genius within us? Tom Kuntz, most recent past president of Century 21, largest real estate franchise in the world, he said, you can't give something to somebody else unless you first have it. And so realizing the genius in other people is so powerful, so endearing. It'll attract so many people to us. But we have to first recognize it in ourselves. And it's not an arrogant, it's not a narcissistic thing. It's just a gift that we've been given, from a higher being, or from our parents, or maybe from our own life experiences, or those types of things. That is really, really powerful, Kevin. So it's neat to see how, everybody's coming together. When I think of Alex, who's in the, in the military, he's in the reserves, and I think he's 26 years old.
Yeah.
And how he's working with MVP to produce a video that'll change the lives of millennials. I mean, it's just like, really? Like, that is so cool. And I think of the Coffee Connection where, Kevin, you and I, are in our 50s. We're with Jonathan and Alex, who are in their late 20s. And then Liliana, who's 7.5 months old, she was there too, inspiring all of us to greatness. And I think about how those types of magical things change our thinking in such a powerful way.
Wow, I appreciate you sharing it. That is powerful. Can you help me understand, for those of us who are maybe in our 50s that are on this mastermind seminars, and they're wanting to lead people, maybe they have kids that are in their 20s, maybe they know their friends who have friends that are in their 20s who are millennials. What would be one of the key things, or maybe two key things you can think in terms of a winner, maybe a bigger, a challenge, where somebody in their 50s can connect with somebody in their 20s and make it something where it impacts both people and leverages that tremendous opportunity into something that can create change massively in the community and worldwide?
Yeah, it's neat. As I reflect back, my wife and I, we have 7 children. 6 of those 7 are millennials. So somebody might call me an expert on millennials, and it's like, I think they're just like everybody else's kids, and there's days that I'm so proud of them, and I just think, man, they're amazing. Like, they're just absolutely amazing. Their mother did a great job in helping them become the young men and women, 3 boys, 4 girls, now 5 grandkids. But then there's other days that I think, Mark, you are the most pathetic father on the planet. I mean, they're just not getting it. So I think that a lot of individuals in their 50s, Kevin, are humbled by, I thought I did a good job. I tried to do a good job, wasn't perfect as a parent, but it seems like, I failed. So I think that a lot of times, like my kids hanging around other millennial kids, that like Alex, he's reading all of these books and he's taking all of his experience from the military, and he was just smoking hot at this last, meeting, and he went ahead and challenged Ed Kirch, who's, in his 60s and owns a ton of companies, and Ed said something about leadership, and Alex said, well, I would challenge you to come and see, my unit in the military. And Alex said, he said, I'm training the people in my unit in the military to not need orders, but to see opportunities and to see needs and to take that initiative. And here's a gentleman that's 26. I'm like, my gracious. So I think, Kevin, in answer to your question, is they are geniuses. They just, like, they've been raised in an environment, in a world that's so connected but so disconnected. So smart but so stupid. So brilliant, but so oblivious. So there's this huge gap between, and I think that, people in yours and my generation, Kevin, we don't know how to approach that. We don't know how to leverage it. From a business perspective, I have decades of networks and connections, and I think in talking with a lot of young men and women in their 20s, especially in the 30s, early 30s, they get a sense that people in their 50s and 60s in business don't really respect them. And I think the reason they get that sense, Kevin, is because we don't, and we should, and they should respect us. We should respect them. There's things we can do for them they can't do. There's things they can do for us that we can't do. Together, we truly can accomplish so much more than we ever could on our own.
Wow. Mark, I appreciate you sharing that. So I think what we need to do, not only in leadership, using millennials as an example, is to build that bridge, to them, to seek to know them, to seek to understand them, maybe humble ourselves in some of our thinking and say, what can I learn? And then maybe we can help bridge the gap to say maybe they can learn from us. We'll figure it out together, but that would be powerful, right?
Absolutely.
Wow. Thank you. I appreciate that.